We are here in the studio with Nick Guzman and his mom, Christina Guzman. Thank you both so much for joining us. It's such a thrill to have you here.
Thank you, Shane.
And it's such a thrill to see a guitar here in the studio. And Nick's been strumming away during the break, and we just all have been sitting here chatting. And I'm so thrilled that we can let you in on what's been going on, because Nick's got a very important gig tomorrow night. We've been talking about it, but tell us what you're going to be doing tomorrow night.
I'm going to play with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, playing David Crosby's Almost Cut My Hair, and then at the end doing Teach Your Children with the rest of the singers and
absolutely amazing.
everyone.
And the whole event, it's an Autism Speaks event that's happening at the Nokia Theater here in Los Angeles, the big Nokia Theater, huge venue. You guys see it on TV all the time. And it's called Light Up the Blues is the entire event.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. Do you know, Mom, how many people that venue holds?
I've been told about 2,800 to 3,000, and not as big as the Staples Center.
Well, still.
But good size.
A pretty amazing event. And so we have to do a little back story about how you got to this space. So, and first of all, I have to ask you, Nick, you identify yourself as somebody who is on the autism spectrum?
Yes.
Okay. When were you diagnosed with autism?
I think when I was 4.
Okay. And I imagine you don't remember a great deal about that, but I'll bet that Mom does. So, Mom, what was going on that you realized there might be something that you took him to get looked at and got the diagnosis?
It started on the first day of kindergarten. I was a stay-at-home mom. He never had a babysitter other than my mom. And it was one of those situations where everybody said, oh, he'll grow out of whatever issues Mom is worried about.
What was it you were worried about? What was it that they were thinking he was going to grow out of?
Well, for one thing, he didn't play with other kids. He would observe other kids. He was very observant of all things, including music. You know, he was very...
And I see how observant you are now. You're somebody who takes it all in. It's a great thing. It's a gift. But, you know, at 4, you're not sure what it's going to be.
Right. He would lay by the speaker and listening with such a serious look on his face. And I think, is he having a good time? Or But, you know, he was soaking it all in. And then there was this really sad a cappella song Tracy Chapman did.
Yes.
And
I think it's called Behind the Wall.
Yeah, it was a very emotional song. Yeah. And every time that song would come on, he would just burst out crying. So my husband and I would race to turn it off.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's when we really knew he was connected to the music.
Yeah. Powerful connection.
Yeah.
Well, I like it now.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I hope so, because it's turning out to be kind of your life. I mean, this is, you're very recognized now as a performer and as a singer. And is this a big step up for you, this event tonight, or have you already done events like this on a regular basis?
Well, I've done an event with I think 2 years before. I think it was at the Grove, where Jack Black and Stephen Stills held it.
Well, it was done by the Miracle Project, Elaine Hall and Diane Isaacs.
We love Elaine.
Yes,
I don't know
do.
Diane, but we love Elaine. Elaine
Absolutely.
is wonderful.
And Elaine is the reason why Nick is here.
Really?
Yes.
So
to play with the band. Oh my God, Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
It's kind of amazing. It's kind of a big.
It's a
big
dream
event.
for me. You know?
Well, and I was going to say, so when he was 4 and you were seeing this intensity, but some difficulties on the other end, you took him to a doctor, and is that when you got a diagnosis, or was it later that you got a diagnosis?
Well, it was in kindergarten. He really had a hard time with socialization.
Yeah.
But he had the reading ability of a 3rd grader.
Wow.
And they said to me, what is that? And I said, I don't know. You tell me. I don't understand what's going on either. And so we took him to the regional center, and that's where they said that he had PDD, and the whole
Okay.
thing.
So, and a lot of our viewers know PDD, pervasive developmental disorder. A lot of times you get a PDD NOS.
Right. Well, his was PDD, ADD, OCD, and a learning disability.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, a kind of full gamut.
Yeah, and I left there not knowing what PDD was.
Okay.
I had it confused with ADD. They said ADD. It was all just a blur. Everything was just a blur to me. it took me a while for my brain to process.
I think that's really typical for most parents. I
Yeah.
think it takes us a while to
It
go,
did.
what does this mean? And did you go through, was there any grief?
Oh,
Did you
absolutely.
think that you lost him to something?
Yes,
or-
I mean, it's you hear that story all the time where they tell you, don't have a lot of hope.
Yeah. Yeah. And is that what you were told?
Yes, and I was depressed. I was very sad. I didn't know. I felt like I was in the twilight zone back there. Nick is 23 going on 24, and back then we didn't have the internet yet.
Yeah.
And I didn't
So
have...
you really were on your own.
I was, and I was really scared. We went through a lot of emotional changes, just everything kind of crashed and burned. And we hit rock bottom, and then we started fishing our way back up. And really, the music has been the healing part.
Amazing. So at what point did you stick a guitar in this young man's hands?
Well, he was the one that was going after his dad's guitar.
So you constantly wanted to play with your dad's guitar, and then did Dad start to show you what to do with it?
Well, I started, when I was 11,
Okay.
to play
Getting
guitar.
lessons, yeah.
Okay.
I was getting lessons. First, we started out with an instructor named Brian, and we did singing lessons and piano lessons. And I started playing piano when I was 7. When I found an out-of-tune piano in a garage.
Yeah, we were renting a house with a garage, with a piano in there, and Nick found it.
And started, and so then did you get him piano lessons at that point?
No, not yet. Guitar was first. His dad plays guitar, so he taught him some chords, and Nick took off.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then when did you realize that he was going to be a performer?
When he didn't stop liking it. Because the thing about kids with autism is they go into these little niches, right?
Right.
They, because at one time Nick was really into, sign language. We thought, well, maybe, he'll do like concerts and do it, be a translator. And then he got really into the president. So I took him to the Capitol, and they gave him a tour, and they gave him a flag. Because he told him, all the president's names and things like that. He had all these different interests. But the thing was, he was very focused on whatever he was into.
Wow.
Just,
Well, what I'm hearing, though, are parents that, because we've talked with Temple Grandin about this, about how do you find what that area of interest is with your kids, but you paid attention, and whatever it was, you fed it. You didn't just say, he likes the guitar, so we're going to do the guitar, and when he likes the presidents, we're not going to feed that. You fed it all.
well, we did, but, you want to go with a functioning skill.
Yes,
a functioning
that's true.
interest. Now, if you have a kid who's really into schedules at the train station, you have to go, well, how is he going to work at the train station?
Right.
Or
Right.
is it just going to be some obsessive thing he's doing?
Right. What can we do with this, and how
Right.
can we make it something bigger, make it something
Absolutely.
functional?
And you have to really look at it and see where else that maybe can translate.
That's great. That's great. You got a great mom, and I think a great dad too.
Oh, he's
that we've
great.
heard that. And I think because I met you guys at the Art of Autism. They had a music event a couple
Right.
of weeks ago, and I got there too late to see you perform. But you guys gave me a CD, and we were listening to it on the way home. And my husband, who's a huge Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young fan, was like, "This kid is great." And we were already talking about getting you on the show, and thrilled to have you here today because you guys have had to come from quite a ways to be here for the event. And I know you got a lot of things going on this weekend, but that you found time to join us here is just a thrill. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have you play. Enough of the talking about it. We want to see, we want everybody else to see how talented you are. So we're going to take a quick break. Stick with us. Welcome back to Autism Live. Our very special guest in the studio right now, Nick Guzman, and his mom, Christina Guzman. And Nick is going to be playing tomorrow night for Light Up the Blues at the Nokia Theater. He's going to be on stage with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And he's going to sing for us right now. What's the first song that you're going to sing?
I'm going to sing Old Man by Neil Young.
Okay, let's hear it.
Old man, look at my life. I'm a lot like you were. Old man, 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. Love lost, such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that won't get tossed, rolling home to you. Old man, take a look at my life, I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. Oh, one look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Lullabies, look in your eyes, run around the same old town. Doesn't mean that much to me, to mean that much to you. I've been first and last, look at how the time goes past. But I'm all alone at last, rolling home to you. Oh man, take a look at my life, I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. Oh, one look in my eyes and you can tell that's true. Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you. Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you.
Wow, that was wonderful. You got me crying, Nick. You know, I'm sitting here and watching you play, and you're so talented. And you know, there's that moment when you said, "Look in my eyes, I'm a lot like you," and I'm just struck by the irony of the words and how we've been talking about compassion and action, and how people need to realize that individuals on the spectrum deserve all the respect and consideration and compassion, and that they're just like everybody else with some differences, and again, the irony about the eye. You make brilliant eye contact, and to be able to make eye contact while you're performing is a huge skill. A lot of people are afraid, you know, and want to look down, and the fact that you do that was just a very powerful thing, and it made me well up sitting here. But such a talent, and I got to pull it together here a little bit. But we're gonna take a short break and come back and have Nick sing another song, and then we're gonna talk some more, because really, you guys are such an inspiration to so many of us who have kids on the spectrum. You know, you just show what's possible. You just show what's possible, and that's huge.
You have to believe in the possibilities.
Yeah.
And not be weighed down by all the negativity out there.
Right.
Because there's a ton of negativity.
Oh, yes, there is. But look at what's possible. How fabulous is that? What a gift you are to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you kidding me? All right, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Autism Live. We have two really incredible people here with us in the studio. We have Christina Guzman, who is the mom of Nick Guzman, we just got to hear him play, and my goodness, you're just so talented, which which I already knew because I'd heard the CD and heard everybody talking about you, but to have you sitting this close and live is another thing entirely. You're a brilliant young man, and you're going to sing another song for us, but I just wanted to take a second to talk about what this event means to you tomorrow, this Light Up the Blues. You're going to be playing at this event, and I think this would be a very exciting thing for anyone to be on stage with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, to be performing. But this is your second time performing with you had performed with David Crosby before, hadn't you?
Actually, Stephen Stills.
Stephen Stills, sorry. So when did you perform with Stephen Stills?
October 4th, 2011.
And that was another Autism Speaks event?
That was a Miracle Project.
Yeah.
Miracle Project event that we
Yes.
had just been talking about. Okay. And what did you sing with him then?
Helplessly Hoping.
Oh my goodness.
The
How very
first
fun.
song he learned on guitar.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Full circle.
Very full circle. And that had to have been a proud moment for you, Mom.
We didn't know. We didn't know it was going to happen. I was backstage, and I heard the song start, and I thought, oh, Nick really wanted to sing that song. And I looked up, and I saw Stephen's back, and then I heard Nick, and I was stunned.
How did you not know that your child was going to be on stage with Stephen Stills?
It wasn't planned.
So he just pulled him up and said, Nick, you come and sing with me?
Somebody pulled him up and said,
Sing with this young man.
yeah,
So this was a couple of years ago.
2011.
Okay, and so now you get to do this big event in this huge, huge venue. But you do other events. You sing at other events. How often are you performing these days?
Well, I perform at open mics in the Bay Area.
Okay.
And also the galleries and all the other events. The autism, we do a lot of, well, he does a lot of autism events.
Yeah.
We've done Autism Speaks, the Miracle Project, the Art of Autism.
Yeah.
We've done the regional centers in San Francisco and San Jose.
So you've kind of had to step up and be a little bit manager. Is that right,
Yeah.
Mom? Which maybe wasn't what you were planning on doing.
No, but you need to get the job done, so you just do
Right.
what you have to do, and that's what an autism mom does anyway, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what we're all.
Also, I also played my first wedding and restaurant in San
lovely.
Francisco.
Yes.
Okay, so you're available for weddings.
Yes.
People should know that. That's a wonderful
He's
thing.
available for bookings.
Yeah, there you go. Fabulous. Okay, so what are you going to sing for us next?
I think I'm going to sing I've Just Seen a Face by the Beatles.
Okay, awesome.
I've just seen a face, I can't forget the time or place where we just met. She's just the girl for me, and I want all the world to see we've met. Had it been another day, I might
I got like my face hurts. I'm grinning so much. I have to ask. So you're so great on the guitar. You got such a beautiful voice. Are you also writing music?
I'm writing the music. I'm having trouble with the lyrics.
So maybe there's somebody out there in your future who's going to be your lyricist. Maybe it's just a Simon and Garfunkel situation.
Right.
Or maybe an Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
There we go. That could be a pretty amazing thing. But I love it that you're finding the music. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And we have to know what's on your agenda. What do you hope to do next? You got this big event. What does Nick Guzman want to do?
Well, I want to be a recording artist.
Well, I could see that happening. I can definitely see that happening. And this kind of music, when you write, is this the kind of music that you write, kind of folk arty kind of stuff?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay, cool. Well, I love that kind of music, and heaven knows. Have you ever thought about auditioning for some of the shows that are out there that are like the talent show kind of things?
Well, I've auditioned for American Idol, but...
and they didn't take you?
No.
That was a long day.
I would bet that was a long day. Which cast was it? They lost their minds if they didn't take you.
I think it was the same one that...
James Durbin. That same year.
Yeah,
we
James
met
Durbin.
James Durbin in Santa Cruz.
Interesting. And so was he already...
Oh, yeah.
And so did you have an opportunity to talk with him about...
He was very gracious. We stood in line for hours with other people, but when we got there, his attention was totally on Nick, and they got to talk. And
he was awesome.
Was he? And so did he have some advice for you about how to deal with the pressures of being a recording artist? And
we didn't get into that kind of thing. It was mostly, just telling him how awesome we thought he was.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we certainly enjoyed watching him on American Idol. We've asked him to be on the show, and he's a very busy person, so we've not yet had him. But now that we've had you, he's going to see what he's missed out on, and so he'll want to come and be on the show. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I've got a couple more questions for you guys about what, because there was a long gap of him being diagnosed and learning how to play the guitar to getting here. And I want to talk with you, Nick, a little bit about, what it's like being in your early 20s here in the United States and being on the spectrum, and what your friends are like and what your social life is like. But anything that we ask, that if it's too personal, you can tell me that's too personal. Is that a deal?
All right.
Okay. All right, so we're going to take a break and come back right after these messages. Welcome back. We have fabulous guests in our studio right now. We have Nick Guzman, a wonderful, talented performer, and we have his mom, Christina Guzman. Nick is going to be performing tomorrow night at the Nokia Theater on stage with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, singing and playing the guitar. A really amazing, amazing event, and he's been sitting here with us playing a couple of songs. So very talented. If people want to get your music, you have a website. And can they get a CD yet, or is that still in the makings?
Well, those are cover songs.
They're really cover songs.
So since he hasn't written his own music with lyrics yet, but that's as soon as he does. There will
so
be
that's all in the making. And during the break, we were talking a little bit, because I said before the break we're going to talk about how did you get from diagnosis and learning how to play the guitar to getting to this point where you're performing at this level. And you guys mentioned Joey Travolta, which also gave me another silly grin, because we love Joey Travolta here. And what did you do with Joey Travolta? How did you meet Joey Travolta?
Well, in San Jose, he was holding up an acting camp. It was a film camp. And I went there 4 times.
Wow.
One at San Jose State and the other at the Campbell Union, I think it was. I'm not sure.
And we've had Joey on the show before, and we've talked about his inclusion films, which I encourage everybody to go to their website, Inclusion Films, and take a look, because we've heard such amazing stories. And it's a lot of times we talk about things that happen in California, but this is not just a California thing. Joey goes all over the United States and even to Canada to do these camps. And we've heard from so many parents that it's life-changing.
It was.
And that's what I'm hearing from you guys. So you did it 4 times. You must have liked it a little.
Actually, I liked it a lot.
Okay. And
when actually, it was there that I performed, for the kids during their break.
Uh-huh.
And that's when I decided I'm going to be a performer.
There you go. And Joey saw that talent in you. And I have seen and heard in him that he recognizes things in individuals and says, here's what you have that we're going to pull out and help you to cultivate. And he certainly saw that in Nick. And you were just telling a story during the break. Share with us. So you were in the car with Joey. What did Joey say to you?
Yeah. We're at the stoplight, and he says, I'm going to write a song for Nick, and I want him to come to Hollywood and record it. And I said, okay. And he did. 3 days later, he had a song, and we came to Hollywood, and he recorded it with Nick. It's on YouTube. It's called Since We're Friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so people can check that out on YouTube. Since We're Friends, look for Nick Guzman on the YouTube channel.
Yes.
So a pretty amazing thing. And but you just weren't singing at the camps, although that was something that came out of it, but you also participated in the filmmaking and those kinds of things?
Yes.
And did you like that?
Yes, I did. Every minute of it.
He was always a rock star.
Well, and we've covered on the show, as I said, we've had Joey on the show talking about it, and we also were involved with Autism Care and Treatment Today. They're a nonprofit organization that raises money for grants for families for different things that they need, and every summer now they do a camp for military families on the autism spectrum, where the individual that's on the spectrum gets to come with a sibling, and Joey does a whole 2 weeks with them, and it can be younger kids. And we talked to those families a lot last year, and they said just their children blossomed, were much more social afterwards. They were so excited. What kinds of things did you see in Nick afterwards that made you want to send him back 3 more times?
Well, it was like no other camp, really. He had never been to a camp, and I wasn't really sure he would really enjoy camp. Because if you think about, Camp Redwood, or I don't know, different kinds of camping type,
right.
I think about the bugs, which he doesn't like. He doesn't like yellow jackets.
I don't
it doesn't,
I'm with you.
That whole camping thing wasn't his thing, and that's the only kind of camps I knew about.
Yeah.
But the film camp, I had a feeling that maybe he might like that. But, it was Joey's first film camp that we went to.
Oh, wow, the very first one.
Yeah, it was at San Jose State University. And so it was actually fun to be a part of that and see how it all unfolded and how much it's changed through the years and how it's expanding.
Yeah.
And, it's just great. The arts is what's really helped Nick grow socially in every capacity. You talk about his eye contact.
Yeah.
That came from
you have
performing.
beautiful eye contact.
You have
better eye contact than I have, Nick. Let's be honest about it. Truly. Yeah. I mean, because a lot of people, it's intense when you make eye contact, and you have beautiful, beautiful eye contact. And I imagine if you went 4 times, imagine you made some friends at film camp.
I did.
That you've kept forever. Mm-hmm. So is Danny Bowman somebody that that you're friends with?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I assisted her with her animation school.
Okay.
At Joey's camp.
At Joey's camp.
Yeah.
Because we've had her on the show as well, and we've been trying to get her back in this month for Autism Awareness Month. And she's an amazing young woman, an artist, and has her own studio. And I didn't realize that you had been helping her as well. Well, I'm going to have to take Danny to task because she didn't introduce me to you. It was Alex Plank who said to me, "Have you met Nick? You got to come over and meet Nick."
Aww.
So, and we love Alex is a regular here with us on Mondays. He joins us. So, but I think it's great. And I'm wondering, so how old are you now?
I'm 23 right now.
23.
I'm going to be 24 on May 4th.
Okay. Well, happy birthday early.
Which is also Mike Durant's birthday.
Now, I don't know Mike. Is he somebody who is part of the film camp, or?
No, he's a bassist from Green Day.
Oh, okay.
He has this thing where you go ahead and do your thing, Nick.
I also like to acknowledge who people share a birthday with.
Okay.
Like he can tell you who you share your birthday with.
I know one famous person that I share my birthday with. So let's see. My birthday is September 15th.
That's also Lee Dorman's birthday from Iron Butterfly, and Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew Agatha Christie. I shared
that's
the
a good
birthday
one.
with Agatha Christie. So that I've known that since I was little, but I didn't know. I don't have the musical reference that you have, but that's really exciting to know. And so you're able to do that with all kinds of anybody's birthday. You're able to do that with.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome. And are they always people who play in bands? Is that mostly whose birthdays you know?
Well, actors as well.
Okay.
And other celebrities.
So who does your mom share a birthday with?
Mom has a birthday with Tom Hanks,
Oh.
Jack White, and
ahead.
Isaac Brock from
And
Modest
Courtney Love.
Mouse.
And Courtney Love. All right, very cool. So I have to ask, and then you can tell me if it's too personal. But we always have. I want to know because I'm about to have a teenager soon, and we always have parents of teenagers who talk about those teen years, and you've made it successfully through the teen years, both of you. Was it difficult in your teenage years? Was it hard to make friends?
Well, it was real tough for me in high school because there were a lot of mean people and in those high school years. It was basically when I was in my sophomore year when I had to go to a social class, and there was a guy named Ben, and
You don't have to mention names, though, Nick.
Don't tell us the last name, but it's okay to say Ben. But
Yeah.
gave you a hard time.
Yeah,
Okay.
But college is different now, though.
but college is very, very different.
So you're in college right now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a wonderful thing. And what are you studying in college?
Right now I'm taking music theory and music tech,
Okay, cool.
and I think it's in music tech that I'm experiencing to write certain types of music.
Okay.
He's learning how to do all that, and it's really
That's
great.
very exciting to learn all the theory and stuff. That's very admirable because a lot of musicians don't take the time.
Yeah, music theory is where I'm learning how to write music, and music tech is how I should record or remix stuff.
Oh, my goodness, because all the technology, you would have to learn that. And I'm curious, when you learned how to play guitar, did you learn from sheet music or the tablature that or do you read music?
Well, I'm learning how to read music right now.
Okay.
I used to learn it by ear, but
Really?
then
Well, he's got perfect pitch.
I got yeah.
But the thing about that, it's like, a blessing
I
and
gotta
a
learn
curse.
how to.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's annoying when anybody's singing off key. That
Yeah.
probably drives you slightly batty.
I'm always trying to tell him to learn it from the chords.
Yeah.
Learn
Right.
Yeah, I had to look at the chords to learn it the right way.
He wants to do it by ear, and most of the time he does very well. But if you're going to play, like he's going to play with Crosby, Stills, and Nash, if he's going to play a song with them, he's got to know what the chords, exactly what they're going to play.
Right.
To play with them, not just wing it.
Absolutely. So how much time do you spend practicing and singing and playing your guitar a day?
Well, now I just do like a half hour of practice or even an hour
Every day.
every day.
But this is
That's not a crazy amount of time.
no,
really.
it should actually be more. I mean, I've talked to musicians, and they're talking 6-8 hours a day or longer. And so when he started to practice, because he kind of we were winging it there too. We would go out to the open mics. He'd practice the song a little bit. He could learn a song very quickly, and he'd go out and play it. But to really have it down in the intricate parts, you really have to do your scales and be able to do it in your sleep. And once you have that kind of confidence when you're performing, then you're just so much more powerful because you feel confident.
Right.
And so that all came together. Our family's been working on this whole turnaround. We're working out at a boot camp, all of us, and Nick's done tremendous on that.
Oh, so you're working out now.
Yeah.
As a family.
As a family.
Well,
As a
that's
family.
pretty inspirational.
It had to be the whole family.
Yeah.
And, just one person in the family can't do it alone.
Yeah.
You have to have everybody cohesive, on board,
Wow.
following the plan together.
So is that something you guys go to in the morning or in the afternoon or what?
It's on Saturday mornings. We go to a boot camp, but then we follow it during the week, and we have an elliptical and a weight machine. And
Yeah.
it works
Also,
out.
I like to run at the high school.
Oh, that's
at the
true.
high school
He's a runner.
tracks.
Oh, that's awesome.
I like to run.
That's an awesome thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys are absolutely amazing. I have one last question for you. In terms of, your life right now, is there anything that you feel is holding you back?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a rough question, actually, but I think, I look at you and you seem perfect to me. You seem absolutely perfect, and you got the world by the tail, and you got all these things that you can do. And, we had said to Alex Plank the other day, we were talking about for moms of kids who are younger on the spectrum, we were saying to Alex, if our kids grow up to be like Alex, we'll be thrilled. Absolutely thrilled.
Here's
and
the
if
thing.
my child grew up like you, Nick, I'd be thrilled.
You know what? And I am thrilled.
Yeah.
But you have to know that, when you're in the trenches, when your kids are young and they're in the school system, it's really hard. Those are really hard years.
Yeah.
And it's a very emotional time for parents because you've got all these teachers and all these people, therapists, everybody working on your kid, and you're fearful of the future.
Right.
What I can say is that if I knew that this could happen back then, I would have slept more and drank less. Right?
Well, isn't that the best advice ever? No, truly, honestly. Even at the point we're at now, I say that to parents and say, I wish I hadn't worried as much.
Yes. It's a waste of your time and your energy, and when you could really be, putting a lot more positive influences in your life, because that brings you down.
Yeah,
you have
absolutely.
to turn that switch off and really regroup and put some effort into getting you have to be the leader of your own ship.
Yep.
You have all these other people, but the parents have to have the main focus of what's really going on.
And I agree with that. And I think that's great to hear that from a mom who's at this point. But for you, you're happy, and this is a good life for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I love that answer. Because that was just as honest as it gets. Yeah, this is, and because I think at the end of the day, that's what we all want for our kids, to see that kind of a smile.
Yeah.
I'm doing what I want to do, and this is a good life.
And it's authentic. It's real. He's worked for it.
Yeah.
He's put the energy into it too, because that's what you have to find. You have to find your child's niche and hone it and encourage them. And even when they don't want to practice, you encourage them to practice. And so they feel better about themselves. They see the improvement, and they feel confident with their successes. And then you just build on from that.
Well, you sure have support, right? You got a mom and a dad who are behind you 100%.
And his brother Paul.
And a brother Paul who's behind you. And guess what? We're all behind you now too. So it's all good. I thank you guys so much. I wish I wish you so much fun. They have that thing about, break a leg that they say when somebody's going to go on stage. But in my family, it's always been to have fun. Because if all this work that you've done and you get there and don't have fun, then I don't know what we're doing. Right? So have a really good time. Take some pictures.
Oh, you betcha.
Will do.
And will you send us some pictures of it? Because we can't be at your event. We're at a different event tomorrow night. But I wish I could split myself in half and be at both. But I just think you're going to do remarkable things in this life. You already have.